Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, August 11th. And you can see out there a few clouds beginning to move in. We're going to have plenty of sunshine scattered about, but we're also going to see a chance of a few showers, maybe some thunderstorms developing this afternoon. They should be somewhat on a scattered basis, though, as the main activity should move in until tonight, and it'll last into possibly Saturday. I think when all is said and done, many areas are going to pick up over an inch of precipitation. If we look at the headlines, again, hot today with some scattered thunderstorm chances, especially during the afternoon. There are some across the southern part of the state this morning, kind of moving in towards the Lansing area. They're very small and scattered in nature, but I think that some of those areas could pick up a few hundreds this morning. And I think with the over the next about 3 days, as we get into about noon Saturday, I think the 12 station average will be around 0.8 to 1.2. And again, I would not be surprised to see locations over the next 3 or 4 days picking up close to 2 inches of rain in some areas. And again, we should get some much needed moisture for sure across all the areas. If we look at our normals of the day, the normal high is 80, our normal low is 56. Yesterday we had a high here in Breckenridge of 91.6, a low of 65. Again, no precipitation. I mean, that makes 11 straight days without any measurable rainfall. A year ago on this date, we had high of 75, a low of 59, with 1/100 of an inch of precipitation. If we look at the conditions around the area from yesterday, you can see, with the exception of Marlette and Brown City and over in St. Thomas, all the other areas hit 90 degrees or 32 Celsius. And again, lows mainly in the mid 60s and even upper 60s, and no precipitation across the board. If we look at conditions currently across the area, we've had no precipitation since midnight. Temperatures mainly in the upper 60s to low 70s. We got dew points well up into the 60s and low 70s, even mid 70s. So it's a very sticky morning out there. And again, it's going to be another hot day as we get temperatures in some areas going above 90 degrees, maybe many areas. You can see our precipitation compared to what we should be. Still, all these zeros out there represents all the locations, and there's 6 of them that have not received any precipitation thus far in August. And again, we're down to 69% for the months from May 1st until the present, as far as so about 2/3 of what we really should have. And again, some areas are quite bad. Breckenridge leading the way with only about half the normal amount of precipitation here over the last 3 1/3 months. If we look at the soil conditions, again, Marlette's down this morning, but they're at 200 at the 2-inch level. It'd been interesting to see what their 8-inch level is. We'll try to get that going and log into that station and see what we can do to get it jump started. Again, all locations at the 2-inch level are bone dry. And look at Breckenridge. First time I've seen this since we installed the soil station a couple of years ago. 8-inch level is also bone dry. So very, very dry across our area. But again, I think all areas will pick up some very beneficial rains here over the next several days, the next 7 days to be exact. Another system could bring us some significant rain as we get into early next week, and we'll show you that in a minute. You can see all the moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. There's a tropical moisture type pattern there that's going to get caught up and then move to the north and then to the northeast. This first system, however, has got plenty of its own moisture and hot, dry air coming in from Texas. And again, as that moves off to the east, that's going to take advantage of the moisture already in place with these dew points in the 60s and 70s. And it'll squeeze out a lot of potential rainfall across the entire Great Lakes and Midwest area and Ohio Valley. You can see on satellite some of the colder cloud tops and some of the strong thunderstorms here at the southwest tip of each of these MCS complexes. They'll round that upper ridge and then begin to move to the east and southeast, now in a position to begin to affect the Great Lakes here over the next 24 hours. If you look at those storms on radar, you can see across Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Again, those will begin to move to the east and even southeast. And again, by tonight, we should have a pretty good chance of thunderstorms as more to redevelop. And you can see on radar this morning some of these small scatter storms across southern lower Michigan back into Indiana. And those are all moving to the northeast. And again, would not be surprised if you're in the Lansing, Charlotte, or towards Ann Arbor area, you could pick up a quick shower this morning. And again, once we get some heating and destabilization, I expect some of these to be in the form of thunderstorms later on today. If we look at the weather map this morning, you can see that low pressure system off in North Dakota. Again, it'll be moving generally on the eastern direction. And again, some pretty heavy showers and thunderstorms off to our west. They'll kind of weaken here this morning and then redevelop this afternoon, move into our area overnight. And you can see that low down in the Gulf Coast area. It's got a lot of moisture associated, and that's going to be streaming north here over the next 4 or 5 days. So another chance of some heavy rainfall across the Ohio Valley and maybe into Michigan. And that's something we're going to have to keep a close eye on as we get in towards Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right now, it looks like Tuesday would be kind of the bullseye when that precipitation moves either off to our south or up into the area. And by Saturday morning, lots of heavy rain forecasted as that moisture interacts with this front. And again, we'll have chances of showers and thunderstorms at least, I think, until noon on Saturday before finally that pushes off to the south. And then we'll watch for an overrunning rainfall potential with this moisture as we get into later Monday into Tuesday as it looks right now. As far as precipitation, the GFS, this is the 7-day forecast, shows quite a bit of rain over southern lower Michigan, so it's picking up, I think, on that southern system, southern moisture for early next week. The 72-hour, which I don't have on here, but the 72-hour GFS only gives about 2 to 4 tenths of an inch of rain over all the entire area. It's kind of the odd model out. The European over the next 72 hours has the area around central and north central lower Michigan in the bullseye, from around Grand Rapids or towards Bay City of 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. And if we look at the Canadian model, it also depicts some of the heaviest rains across central and northern lower Michigan. So we're going to lean towards the European and the Canadian on this over the next 72 hours. And if we look at the next forecast map, this is from Incept over the next 72 hours. That was yesterday. Here's the new one as of this morning. You can see it's kind of filled in that area, given all the lower peninsula over an inch of rain. And if we look at the next shot, this would be the 7-day, and this represents that moisture across the Ohio Valley coming in for early next week. And again, we're going to have to watch that area because it may be shifting farther to the north. And as far as the WPC's depiction of rain over the next 72 hours, again, that favors the central and north central lower Michigan areas. All of southwest Ontario looks like it's in good shape to pick up plenty of rainfall as well. And over the next 7 days, again, it does depict the very heaviest rainfall off to our south. And again, that's something we're going to keep an eye on, with much of the area picking up around 1 to 2 inches of rain here over the next 7 days. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.